Oh, there they are. Al,
What up, pimp?
dang, what are you doing over there?
I don't know.
You're like some high class production studio going on right now.
No, definitely not. Definitely an old spare bedroom down here in Weewa Hitchcock, Florida.
Nice.
Got the quality beer today for the podcast.
Oh, dude.
Natty
Look,
Light.
I swear to God, I saw a whole bunch of stuff today. I was out with Becky. We were going places, and everywhere I looked, I saw a whole bunch of things that would be phenomenal Christmas gifts for a whole bunch of people. I saw things I was like, oh, I got to get that for Cole. I saw stuff that would probably definitely be like Versace for you, Al, but not made
Wrangler.
by Versace.
Is it Wrangler and Carhartt?
Oh no, it's way better.
Yeah,
it's
baby.
way better.
Yeah.
Might have a little bit of that logo on the front of it, to be honest.
I'm gonna embarrass my wife real quick. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna flip my phone so you can see it. My wife's high school picture.
Oh, why are you doing that?
And her smoking hot mama. Oh yeah.
Hey, if Al gets smacked and all of a sudden the camera turns off, don't ask questions. We'll
Are
see.
you in her like high school bedroom?
Fuck no. Well, no.
Oh, okay.
She grew up in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
If I was in her high school bedroom, I'd be, on the bed, naked, staring at this picture.
Hold on, though. Are you sure? Are you sure
that I'm
You're
not
positive?
in her high school
That's
bedroom?
that's what would happen. That's so funny. Well, so what's
like you got a
unique
Georgia
about
fan
this
there?
week?
James
Oh,
Thornton.
God.
What's up, James?
Another one?
Let's go,
one.
James. Go Dogs, baby.
Where are they going?
James, where are you from in Georgia, brother? Big Al.
What's up, Big Al?
Oh, you sexy son bitch, you.
Okay, how's he going to say he's from Georgia and then hit you with an A&M line called howdy? Really?
That's how we talk down there too, bro. We're from the South.
No, it ain't. Y'all didn't trademark that.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Texas can't have everything.
When? Yeah, we can. Absolutely.
Fuck that.
We can have everything except Kentucky bourbon because, like, legally you can't call it Kentucky bourbon if it's made in Texas. So we'll give them that one.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that? I mean, but think about it. Like, would someone, like, if you made bourbon outside of Kentucky, would you be like, oh, I make Kentucky bourbon. Where are you from? Utah? People would be like, you dumb motherfucker. Really? Utah?
Thomasville? Hell yeah. Oh, he's been around.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
So James Thornton is actually one of the gentlemen that was on the Tip of the Spear Veterans Roundtable yesterday.
Nice. That's what's up. Yeah. We're Columbus people, James. We're from like almost damn near Alabama.
He's originally from Kentucky. Oh, okay, there he says it. Originally from Kentucky, educated in New York, moved to Georgia. So
see, he was just giving you a little bit of props now. No, but he was just trying to help you out a little bit to make you feel like a part of something and included because he said Georgia.
I do appreciate it, but I will say if he was educated in New York, he's probably the smartest motherfucker in Georgia. He was probably in that bit. He probably was in Georgia like they probably couldn't understand shit he was saying. He probably was enunciating using like actual words.
He graduated.
Hey man, when I moved from Kentucky to Jacksonville, Florida, when I was a sophomore in high school, oh my Lord. I mean, me introducing myself to somebody is like, hey, how y'all doing? My name's Ty. That's I can't even do the accent that I had. People used to tell me that that's what I sounded like. But anyway, yeah.
So Ty, how many times did you walk into a place and people were like, I love your accent? And you're like, I don't got no damn accent. You have an accent.
Oh no, I was very aware that I had an accent most of my life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey, what's up, David Willis? Appreciate you tuning in. David Willis, of course, with the Tip of the Spear. He put together the Veterans Roundtable. Appreciate him doing that yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry I missed that. I apparently don't know how to tell time, and me and Scott were in the same boat. Like, what's going on? We had no clue. So,
yeah,
that's okay.
I got on it when I was driving because I had to run over to my daughter's house to take my grandson some medicine. So I start out the podcast and I'm in my truck and we got Officer Pitts in there and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna need your license plate number. You're getting a ticket for that one.
Yeah, that was so funny.
So hey,
While he was
I want to
driving.
read this right here because I've never seen eBeats 64, but thank you very much for watching. He says, I missed the past few podcasts, but the past ones I viewed have kept me somewhat level. Thanks for filling the void I dealt with since I retired in 2018 UT1 SCW Mendez.
Hoorah,
Hey,
CB.
only reason that dude's not a chief is it was 0% for 10 years.
Yeah, bro, that UT rating. So hey, brother, me and Matt came out of the CBs. I was a CM. Matt was an EO, so we actually worked. You guys didn't really do shit, but I appreciate you coming on the podcast. Alpha types.
Hey, do you remember Al, like, but do you remember you'd go to the job site in the Bs, right? I remember because I was an Alpha company, we would go out to the job sites, and then whenever it was time to come Friday, all the EOs would be like, oh shit, we got to take these trucks back to the yard. We got to wash them. They got to be cleaned. You know, they're going to be mad if we don't. And then lo and behold, the only truck we would never take is the deuce and a half, right? Because that's what brought all the builders and the plumbers and the electricians back to the yard. They pull up to the yard on Friday. We're drinking beer out of hazmat coolers. They're like, you flying motherfucker. Like, we did wash the trucks.
Yeah.
But like we were done pretty quick. So he used to be
so
mad as hell.
We can't forget about our boy. Big shout out to our boy old DJ Royalty. Scott is not with us tonight. He's taking care of his son. His son had a senior night. Big props to his son, doing big things out there in Tennessee. So I hope he's he's either in the airport or he's there, but hope he's having safe travels.
Yeah. Well, you know that
he said he's going to try to pop in like a pop star.
He will. That's what he does. But you know that his son is up for Homecoming King. So if we know anything about his son, it's already won. Like, look at Scott. That shit's won already. You ain't got to worry about it. It's in the bag.
Senior Chief Rhodes was the shit.
Yeah.
Hey, but for real though, like after I've been watching some of these other podcasts that are veteran podcasts with David Willis, with James Thornton, with I forget the other there's so many names, but as I'm listening to them, I'm realizing that there's so many ideas and there's so many things that we could be doing. So it does my heart good to know that there are other veterans out there that are trying to do the same stuff that we're doing, you know, talk about the stuff. Misfit Nation. Thank you, David. It was just great. And then David, I actually tagged you in another podcast I want you to look at that you may want to invite them to the Tip of the Spear Veterans Roundtable. I'm not for sure where he's located, but he's got some really good content and some pretty good talking points. I've only listened to a couple, but I tagged you in it, so check that out.
For sure. So let's do this. So we have taken this journey for a long time. So what are we now? We're 18 in, right? Which seems like we've been doing this forever, but it's not. But it's been so fun, all the things that we've done, the people we've talked to. So I think we should maybe talk a little bit about that today, right? Let's talk a little bit about some of the people we've had on. Like one person I thought about the other day, as I was scrolling through social media, which I start to do now. Don't anybody pass out. I look at social media now, and I noticed that Drew Hernandez recorded his special at the event that you were at, Ty, over there at the at that theater, at the ISIS
Theater
which
in
is
Fort Worth.
Such a great name for his special, by the way.
Yeah, and that place has some history too.
Yeah, and he recorded the special. I saw him like writing stuff in there about it, and I was like, oh man, like we had him on. He was a good time. I liked everything that he was talking about helping everybody and, you know, getting us to get into the VFWs and continue to keep that tradition going. But I was like, look at this guy, man. He just released a special. He's up and coming. I mean, if you guys are listening and you haven't seen any of his stuff, you are missing out. You got to go see this guy. He's funny as shit. So,
yeah, he had a rant on his page today. I was looking at about his car insurance.
Yeah, I shared it. It was great. I mean, it's so true too. I'm with you, Drew. Get the fuck out of California, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Chief Carmona? Big shout out to Chief Carmona. Thank you for watching, buddy.
Yeah.
We had some good guests on that. I mean, we had Sean Sant. Sean was a good one. Command Sergeant Major. I mean, that guy. I mean, golly. I mean, I actually shared his knife hand photo because, man, it just gave me chills. There it is.
Look jealous? At it, bro. You're jealous that you can't give the knife hand that good?
No, he invented it, bro. I mean, look. I mean,
look at his
look
form
at
and
that-
technique in that
look at
knife
that
hand.
form,
Like he's got
bro.
the one finger edge just right, so he could poke someone else in the eye while he's knife handed
Man,
someone else.
he was on it.
Like,
I was
professional.
impressed. I was impressed.
Yeah, man. So let's go around the room. Ty, what do you think, man? Give us a little bit of a like a summary. How you think it's been going? Where are we at? Like, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm always the most horrible critic. I think everything that I do is pretty much trashy and
And
everything.
look who's in the building.
Yeah, but yeah, that knife hand. Yeah. Hey, look at there.
There he is. There's my idol. I want to be just like him when I grow the fuck up. Look at that, bro. That's every time I see it, I almost went to parade rest right now.
Yeah.
But I can't stand up. I'm not wearing any pants. So.
Yeah. So what were you saying, Ty?
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Don't even worry about that.
I forget where I was. I do.
So
let me say this before. Let me get this off my mind. So let me just say this real quick. So, as you know, last week we talked about the 101st MP company. So I'm going to say this really quick because I don't want to get choked up. So this right here is Eric Holtegard. Eric Holtegard lost his battle to his demons. He committed suicide a couple days ago. I deployed with him in 2003. He was one of the drivers in headquarters platoon. I was in headquarters platoon until, I don't know, 6 weeks before we deployed, and then I was kind of moved to the provost marshal office to work in the division talk. So I wasn't with him the whole deployment, but I did know him. I do remember many of the conversations that we had. I remember him being a very good conversationalist, and then of course I remember him being a really good MP. So Eric Holtegard, we won't forget you, buddy, and I'm very sorry to all his family. 101st MP Company paid a lot of homage, and obituary stuff we'll be following. We'll probably put that on our website. So, yeah, okay, that's it.
No, I'm with you. It's sad. I mean, everything, things are going on that's in the world all over the place, and it's crazy. That's still something that the veteran community is dealing with every day. I mean, like you said, years ago, I think it was 2000 and I don't know, 11. I had a buddy of mine the same way, a guy named Michael Carr, same way. Was in the CBs with me, and then he did Blue to Green to that Blue to Green program, and ended up taking his life. He missed formation. He was a warrant officer in the Army. He missed formation. They went in there, and he pretty much put his dress uniform on and swallowed a bunch of pills, and that was it. I mean, and it's just never in a million years would you, if you met him, there's no way you would think that guy ever. There's no way. He had kids. He had a bunch of kids. I mean, it was very unexpected and just crazy. But I mean, every day, we got veterans every day. That's part of reality, unfortunately, for our community. And there's a lot of help out there now, and mental health has become not as not a stigma anymore. And there's opportunities to get help, and there's places, but that doesn't mean that because there's options for help or there's a way to get help, that everybody's going to look for that. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it absolutely is.
I think
it gets to a point in your life where you feel like that's the best option, and that's the only option. It's absolutely absurd. It's gut wrenching.
Yeah. Well, I would tell you, Ty, I'm sorry for your loss, my friend.
Absolutely, my brother.
I'm sorry for his family. I'm sorry for anybody that has to go through that, and just know that we're all of us on here right now, and there's a whole bunch of these guys. You've got David Willis, you have the Misfit Nation, you have Sergeant Major Woodring. There's a lot of people that we've met. If you need something, we're just a Facebook message away. We'll help you out. And then, if anybody ever needs anything, if at all possible, reach out, man. And we'll do everything we can to help you. We'll do everything we can to ensure that you get the assistance that you need. I don't care where you are. I don't care what time it is. I don't care what's going on. There's somebody here for you. And I just, everybody should know that.
Yeah, we got a lot of resources. Project Zero. There's a ton of resources groups, and like you said, other groups and people are involved with. Like, we can definitely lead you in the right direction, right? Yeah. Or just be a sounding board somebody you can talk to, because I mean it's very gut wrenching when you hear what Ty just said. Another
For sure.
brother is gone way too early and way before his time. You know, it's sad. It's sad that combat doesn't take us out as much as suicide does. It's absolutely absurd. The demons people deal with, and a lot of us have been down that road. So I'm not saying it's we're all immune to it, but it's the truth. I mean, I've had my dark days where that was an option for me at one point in my life before I went inpatient for TBI and PTSD and but even then, even when you come out of those places, a lot of times I felt like even in inpatient time, it was crazy. It felt like that place wasn't real. It wasn't reality. Like when you're there, it's perfect. It's great. You got a support system. But as soon as they open the doors and you go back into the reality, back into the real world, that those places, they help. But I mean, you get back into the real world, and it is what it is. Everything comes rushing back. I mean, I used to tell my wife and people all the time, like for me, it felt like you got this demon, got this monster inside of you all the time that's itching to get out. And you want to keep it caged up. You want to keep it bottled up. But for the most part, I felt like I had a baby gate, just a baby gate holding it back and just waiting to get out. It's hard to explain. It's hard to describe, but there are people who are dealing with some really, really rough times and rough issues. You talk about combat, you talk about military deployments, but you get back home and it's people deal with divorce and loss and all these things. And they, because people don't, wives and husbands don't stay around sometimes because they don't understand how to help and they don't understand what to do. And it just compounds and adds more problems to an already big, huge problem. Right. So,
yeah. The thing that Berto always says for the, Berto Fight, friend of the podcast, of course, licensed clinical social worker, used to be a soldier in the Army. He says, and I wrote it down somewhere here in my notes. He says the abnormal becomes normal. So transversely, the normal becomes abnormal. So we get so used, especially for the, period or the period where we were literally deploying back to back. Like I had a couple deployments where I would come home for 3 months and then go back. So the abnormal becomes normal, and like Matt says, we train people how to go to war, but we don't train people how to come back home. And that's a lot. To me, what's helped for me, and a little bit of my story, if you didn't watch my first episode, that's now available on Spotify.
Damn right it is.
Thanks, Matt Johnson.
Now it's available on Spotify. Look at that dude right there.
The come up.
Y'all didn't know, but Ty Cobb is famous as shit. He played baseball. He was in the Army. I mean, what more can you want?
He looks beautiful naked. It's amazing. I don't know what else.
Whoa.
I snuck a peek.
Did you? I was gonna say you snuck a peek because you weren't snuggling.
I snuck a peek.
You ain't never staying in his house again.
I do want to say something else now. That thanks for covering for me, Big Al. Or not Big Al, but Al. Big Al's in backstage, by the way. So I wanted to say these other names just because we always say whenever one of our brothers or sisters die, that we'll always say their names so they'll never be forgotten. I got a buddy named Brandon Hughes that literally goes around on October 16th when 3 of our people in 716th got killed. He writes their name on a napkin, both their names from 194 MP Company, and then Corporal Bellavia or Sergeant Staff Sergeant Bellavia and Corporal Grilly. So he'll put 2 shots down and then he'll drink one, and then he'll write a little note, in some random bar, some random airport he's always going. So as long as we say these people's names, they're never going to be forgotten. And of course, we're always going to remember them in my heart. But what strikes me, and I'm talking fast on purpose, guys, is that the 101st MP Company has had a lot of suicides. And I'm just going to mention some of these names. So Major Dave Otto committed suicide. I deployed with him 3 times. I deployed with him in OIF-1. I think Afghanistan twice. Master Sergeant Chris Barnes, deployed with him. He was my squad leader in OIF-1. And then
come on, bro, you got it.
Staff Sergeant John Dean. He actually killed himself while he was in country. And so all these people were attached or right with 101st MP Company before it became 561st. So that's when he committed suicide, when he was in 561st. But there's been a lot of people from those times, and we're getting to the age now to where a lot of our friends are dying, and that's very difficult to deal with. So
to kind of tell you that, and for anybody listening out there, anybody that's going to listen later, as a veteran or if you're active, it doesn't really matter. Never miss an opportunity. And I don't remember who told me that years ago, but never miss an opportunity to ask somebody, are they okay, right? Or do you need something, right? It may just be somebody to bullshit with for a minute. It may be a hug. It may be a high five, a pat on the back, a good game. I don't know. But never miss an opportunity to ask somebody, right? Or to do, it's cliche because people put it on Facebook all the time, right? But it's true. Do a buddy check, right? Reach out to somebody and say, hey, especially if you know their story or their backstory or what they've been through or what they've done, reach out and say, hey, are you good? Just want to check in on you. Sometimes all it takes is somebody to call you and say, hey, man, I was thinking about you and I love you. Just want to check up on you and your family. That may be all it takes. A lot of times it's not something massive, not some big, like, let's sit down and have a damn intervention or let's sit down and have a long conversation. Sometimes it's really just shit. I mean, a quick phone call, a quick text message to let somebody know they are not alone. You run into a veteran in a mall, in a gas station, you're chopping it up about, telling some quick war stories or some sea stories, whatever the fuck it is. Ask, are you good, man? Everything good with you? Do you need anything? It doesn't take much to ask somebody, are you okay? Right? Is everything good? Right? It doesn't matter. Make a phone call. Pick the phone up. Call a buddy you ain't talked to in a year. Somebody's in your old unit. And just say, hey, man, I was thinking about you today. Let's check in. A Facebook message. It doesn't take a lot to intervene and try to change that number, that 22 a day, and it's probably growing by the day. It's been 22 a day for, golly, I don't know how long. It may be more now. I don't know the statistics on it.
I think, it definitely is more, and then sometimes there's less. But the 22 is kind of like what they said earlier. It's like what the media has held on to, the 22 a day. But sometimes during certain periods, it may be more.
Yeah. There's dates and times in people's lives that get close or show up, and it has a certain meaning, or it weighs heavier on than any other day. Holidays for some people weigh like that, right? I mean, you spent many deployments down, whether it was downrange, it doesn't have to be a downrange deployment, it could be any deployment, but you were gone. Pick a phone up, man. It's funny. I sent Dustin a Facebook message because I connected with him. I really felt like, his story really touched me, and there's a lot in his story that, I mean, his story about just his past in the military and how he ended up getting out, because of some stuff he was dealing with. It could have been me at any given moment. I said, hey, bro, send me your phone number. His response was phenomenal. He said, I'm not giving you my phone number. I don't want any unsolicited butthole pics. And I was like, yeah, it's probably smart on your part, dude. And he sent me his number, but to have his,
and then I sent him a butthole pic right after.
And then I sent him two actually. But
you just wanted to make sure the first one wasn't all blurred out. You know what I mean?
To have a guy like, just to have a guy like Dusty and to know that he's in my corner now, and if I need something, I can call him. That's what you want, right? build your community, build your alliances, build your team around you, and utilize those people. And never, I can't stress enough, never miss a moment to ask somebody, are they good? Right? That's it. I mean, that's really, that may be all it takes.
Well, I tell you what,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we've been talking a lot about today, a little bit about the past and things we've had coming on. So, I've seen somebody's back there waiting to come on. Is now an appropriate time to bring him in, or
that's what I was
let him wait a little bit longer? He looks like he's moving around a lot.
Looks like he's doing like some college course or something. Looked like
he was putting glasses on, and then he was like, I saw him doing this. He was like, you're doing the whole, I look good. We're ready to go.
So speaking of, absolutely. Speaking of people that have been, guests and we've looked back on that have really, we've had a personal connection with. I mean, I can show some pictures here of Al and Al, but I'd like to bring on Big Al Gonzalez real quick.
Yeah.
Man, there you
Big Al.
Bro, you look good. Look at you, bro. Got your hair's combed back, bro. Professional.
You must have a date tonight.
What's up?
Yeah, you got a date.
How you doing?
Good, man. Good.
Al doesn't go on dates. Al dresses like that, looks in the mirror, and makes love to himself. That's how good he is.
But that's what he's really doing at night, is taking stuntmans with some crazy people. Well, one crazy person.
It's back there, man.
Yeah, mine is too, but it's on my back now. I can't see it with the hoodie on, but it used to be there.
Yeah. So how you doing, Big Al? What's going on?
Doing good, and I like the segment you guys just finished. It's always good to give a shout out to those who've passed on, for whatever reason, for many reasons. There's never one reason. It's always a dog pile of reasons, but it's good to always remember those people because they were in our lives, and it does take just reaching out sometimes. I recently had a friend who just called and, if I didn't pick up that phone, I don't know what would have happened. And I'm one of the few people that picks up the phone for him like that. And he's been a friend of mine since my 20s, and he appreciates that. And crazy thing is, he always tells me he's going to leave me in his will. So it's not the reason why I pick up, but that was the recent,
at least not today,
development. No,
but so Big Al, what have you been up to lately with stand up?
Well, I mean, this is a perfect segue for that because I'm doing a new project. I'm working with these guys. Their organization is called Combat 22. And for those who are veterans, we all know what that number means. So basically, we're going to be raising money for awareness for this type of tragic things that happen to a lot of our vets. And we're doing an event here in San Antonio at Cigar International on November 8th. It'll be between 7 and 10 o'clock at Cigar International. It's between the 10 and 1604. And it's a $40 donation. You get a bunch of swag bags that have whiskey, cigars, and a lot of other tchotchkes. And I'll be performing.
Did you say whiskey?
With whiskey.
I'm in.
Yeah, come on through. It's November 8th. If you guys aren't doing anything, pop in, say hello. I'll be there. A couple other veterans who do comedy will be there. And they'll be doing the live national anthem. One of the young ladies from in town, she'll be singing the national anthem. There'll be some other people giving speeches, and then some people talking about mental health, and just overall people hanging out and sharing their stories. So, and again,
Martin! No, he is not Martin, and he is not Ron Jeremy.
From the waist down, he's Ron Jeremy. Just want to throw that. I was in the bathroom.
Yes, Becky. Hold on. Yes, Becky. I'm trying to do the math and see if I'm going to be in Texas on that day. Becky knows she wants to go too. They said whiskey in the bag. She's in. I know she's in.
Yeah, but that's the big thing we're doing, which is November 8th. And again, it's just to draw awareness to the fact that yes, veterans do need your help. We need your help more than just money, more than just coming to an event. We need you sometimes just to pick up the phone call or text us or look us up on Facebook and say, yo, what's up, man? Let's have a drink. Let's go out for lunch. Let's watch the game.
No, absolutely. To this day, after we had you and your buddy Drew on the come on and talk, and I told him we would reach out. I sent him a message probably once every so often. Just I don't know if he gets them because it's through his Facebook Messenger, but I always just want to check on him. I don't know if he ever gets them, but maybe he does, maybe he don't. But just to reach out and like I said, just ask somebody, man. Just check on your buddy, check on your battle buddy. Make a phone call, send a text. It doesn't take long, doesn't take much. That may be all that they need. Somebody to know that somebody gives a fuck. Somebody still loves them. That they have a support system. And what you're doing, Big Al, is phenomenal. I mean, you do a lot for the veteran community already. You're ingrained in that community, and I mean, you could be. I mean, you're one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. You could be going out and get caring more about making money and caring about doing all these other shit and shows. But you guys are just really focusing on and helping your community in this community. And it's very admirable, right? Because there's so much other shit you could be doing to build that back pocket of yours even better. But you're really digging in and caring about what we do and caring about each other. So it's my hat's off to you, my brother.
Well, it's I'm inspired by a lot of the people around us. Those are great picks.
Hell yeah, they are.
Sometimes
we're in them.
Sometimes we forget, the kind of impact we can have on people. And, just having talked to Drew and being involved with his shows, Drew Hernandez, who's a combat veteran, For those of you who don't know who he is, you know, when he approached me and talked to me about the shows and what he wanted to do, like it helped light a fire under me, because I've always been doing shows for veterans off and on, but you know, I never thought of going any further than, you know, just a show here and a show there. I didn't know we can do more than that. And the gentleman I used to work with before, Steve Trevino, he does a thing called Helicopters for Heroes, and that's a really good organization that helps out wounded veterans, and they raise money and to help them out and getting them wheelchairs and prosthetics and such. And it's as simple as taking guys up on a helicopter and giving them a rifle and hog hunting, you know. So
Yeah.
which you don't
Which
think
is
about.
awesome.
It's the most awesome thing in the
Yeah.
world. Yeah, and it's that
Yeah.
simple. You know, take some guys on a ranch and, you know, get them out of their funk, you know.
Yeah.
two
How
guys in a
many
tent,
of
let 'em
those
cuddle.
guys go on that trip? But how many of those guys go on that trip waiting for the guy in the helicopter to be like, you do know how to use one of these, right? You know, they're all waiting to be like, I hope they ask me that question.
I wish a
I'll show
motherfucker
you.
would.
Yeah, like, do I know how to
But
use
Big
it?
Al,
Really?
I heard Matt and our Al start talking about the guests we had, and I wanted to send you a link real quick because, I mean, the feedback we got after you were on, you know, you gave us a lot of ideas for segments, and so that's helping veterans. After Drew was on, he gave me all kinds of pointers. Like it was a that kind of conversation to where he helped me, and he didn't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, he was literally like, you need to do this if you want your stuff to do. And since then, we went from this many likes to, I counted them up today, it's over 1,200 likes. So hey,
Wow.
thanks to the platoon, we're over 1,200 likes now and subscribes and everything for across our social media. And this is not something that any of us are doing full time. So I wanted to bring you on real quick, and thanks for just jumping on real quick
Yeah, no problem.
with me sending you a link. I wanted to say thank you to you because this is what I want this podcast to be, and this is what we've talked about. We want to recognize the people that we've served with, and we want to let them know that, you know, just because you're getting out, just because you're having this issue here, we're still here. It's the same flag, same oath.
Yeah.
We are
Yep.
we are here for each other. We may not be holding the weapons now, but we can hold each other's hands, you know, and be there for each other. And that's what I want to convey. That's my biggest sentiment that I put out to every place.
Yeah. This podcast is my new M4. This is my new weapon, right?
There you go.
This is me kicking a door in now is through this podcast, right? And through connections with guys like you, Big Al, and you know, like, I mean, it's phenomenal to be able to have you on, you know, periodically and have you a part of our family now, man. We love you, bro.
Yeah, I love watching you guys. You know, whenever I get a chance, I'm not always free on Thursdays, but whenever I get a chance and your podcast is playing, I pop it on and I watch you guys and I chime in to let you guys know I'm watching.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, that bond that we created on that show over in Houston in Spring Branch, you know what I mean? I felt it and it was genuine, and I like you guys and I like what you're all doing, you know, to help out the veteran community. And whatever I can do, and if it's just coming on and telling a joke or being funny or sharing a show that I'm doing where somebody can come and watch it, you know, that if I can bring a smile to somebody's face, more power to it. And if you guys help you know, help make people aware that I exist or Drew exists or any other comic like Eric Knowles, who's also doing his article, his, you know, his show, you know, we're all out there and we're all trying to do the damn thing, and we're all trying to draw awareness to a lot of the things that are going on in the veteran community. And guys like you guys help us just as much as we help you. So
right.
Well, thank you very much for saying that, and thank you for popping on.
No problem.
Hey, let's hear it for Big Al. Thank you, sir.
Add me on Facebook or go to IG at the Big Al Gonzalez. All right, thanks, fellas.
Later, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry about that, Matt.
It's on me.
Bad production. Bad production.
I tell you what, though,
I sent him the link out of the blue once you started talking about it. I was going to try and send links to a couple people, but I sent it to him and Berto, and then I was like,
all
hold
good.
on, let me stop. let him talk first.
Well, I'll tell you that I think when you look at how our stuff is going and how we progress through this, you know, if you look back from number 1 to today, big difference, right? It is a big difference. We've gotten better. We've done things better. We've improved. But what I've seen that I think is the greatest part of all of this is we haven't even really started, if you think about it, right? There's so many people that we personally know that we can bring on that have made big impacts in our lives and our careers and just call it in your family's lives and all those things. But there's a ton of people that consistently reach out to us that want us to bring them on and talk about the things that they're into. And the overarching thing that I see about all the time is they're it's a nonprofit, or maybe they do a podcast, or maybe they do something that deals with veterans, and they are always just asking, it's crazy, can you guys bring me on so that I can talk, so that I can get more exposure? And when you see that, you're like, you want me to give you more exposure? Like, we're doing something big and great. But the thing that I like the most is we've met a lot of great people that are appreciative of what we're doing, because it's not over the top, it's not crazy, but we just want to give you guys the real picture of how it works. This is who we are, this is what we do, and this is what we care about. So I appreciate the Big Al, said that he appreciates the relationship that he formed with us at that show in Houston, because we did the same thing. It's good to meet good people. Let's just put it that way. And doing something like this, you meet them all the time. I mean, Willis over here he's in Kentucky, for crying out loud. I mean, I think Ty telepathically made that one happen with that Kentucky connection. But when you meet these guys, Dusty, Al, we're talking Sergeant Major Woodring, we've got a whole bunch of people coming up. We're talking to the Rescue for PTSD. We're talking to Christian and
Daniel
Rudy.
Street was freaking amazing.
Daniel Street was amazing.
My boy Dan, Sean Sand. I mean,
Sean Sand. We're so many people
on here has been very impactful. And what you were saying, Matt, I like, because it's when I told Ty, I've talked to Ty quite a bit about it. And my whole vision and my whole thing was, man, I really wanted to provide even it's our stuff, right? It's our podcast, but I love the fact that we have a sounding board and we give a voice to some other veterans, right? Just somebody comes on, tell their story. That's phenomenal to me. Like that, to me, that's a win, right? When you bring another, like the home front team and all these other great groups, Project Zero, and you name it. I mean, all these teams of people that are doing outstanding things to have them on. And really, for me, it's humbling to be able to be in the same space as some of these individuals, right? Like Sergeant Major Woodring. It was very humbling and an honor to be in a even a podcast, in a room, podcast wise, right, in this setting with an individual of his character and a person whose leadership, him, Dusty, Don, Massey, and future guests, right, to be able to be in a space with these people, these individuals who are absolutely outstanding leaders. They were in the military. They are still in that same capacity, right? They're all doing some great things. It's Kyle Shudik. I mean, these guys, for me, it's humbling, right? Because who am I? I'm just another idiot voice out here talking shit. But to be around those guys and be in those guys' company, it's very, very, it's such an honor and very humbling to even be able to say, I know that I've met that guy. I know I know Sergeant Major Woodring now. I know Dusty. I know these people that come on and talk. It's awesome.
I was at an event the day of the Article 15 show. We went to a Halloween trunk or treat, Becky and I, with the t-shirt company. We set up over there. We're hanging out, and I met a lady that she was like, "Oh, were you in the military?" Because the shirt I was wearing, right, it had the logo on it. I was like, "Yeah, I'm in the military. I retired." She goes, "Oh, my husband's in the military." Come to find out, he was an MP, right? Sorry, Ty. The first thing I said was, "Do you think your husband knows Rich Woodring?" Like, I just out of the blue, because I know what he's done and where he's been. And the guy came up and we were talking, and he's like, "Oh, that doesn't ring a bell." I'm like, "Yeah, we just had him on our podcast, right?"
You ain't shit.
Yeah. But to see him come up to try to remember if he knows this person or who it is, you could see him going, "Do I know that guy? I got to know if I know that guy." Because now it's like I can put that connection in, right? So not just on a podcast, not just here in this 1 hour, 2 hours that we do once a week, when we meet people out and about and you talk to them, I don't know. I think it was you, or so it was either Scott or you, Al, where you guys were out somewhere wearing one of our shirts, and somebody's like, "Oh, I've seen that before," and I was like, "No way, dude."
Well, I have
Someone's
to
seen it?
interject for 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. So there is a comment that I looked at, but I did not realize who this was. And I'm going to come back to this, but I got to find a photo real quick. This guy right here, this is his wife, but Brian Heverly.
He's probably way better looking than he is.
Yeah. Let me find a picture of him, but
He's
this
smart
is
to put her as his profile picture. Smart guy, Brian. You
Like,
probably got
this is
one
funny.
ear higher than the other.
This is
It's
funny
okay.
that I had the you know, the
Uh-oh,
emotional
hold on,
experience
Todd.
I had before, and then don't
Yeah.
I dare. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
coming.
yeah. Oh, come on. It's about to happen. So I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
for it right now. I'm kind of stalling. So this guy we deployed a couple times, and he did so much for me. I mean, he's one of my military heroes. So I gotta find this.
Hey,
photo.
Al, I think he went to
we
the
go.
same school you did when it comes to talking about getting married. He married up, way up.
Oh,
So this is
there you go.
Captain Brian Heverly, and this is Sergeant Cobb. I was on his I was his commo guy / PSD. Me and Rocco Bruno and Dory and Patrick Frisbee, and there was other people there too. But
You
those
big
were the-
motherfuckers like an offensive line to some football team. Y'all all like 8'11".
we
Y'all are
I think
y'all are
this was
terrifying.
after we spent probably like 3 or 4 days in the Maroof Valley, and this was the mission. And I don't know if I should really say this that
Which
much.
one's
but
Brian? Which one's Brian? The one with the towel on his head?
Yeah, Brian's the commander. Yeah, he's
Right
the one
right
in the middle. Yeah,
Y'all let
Brian
him-
Heverly in the
Nice.
middle. Right.
He's an
I'm on
officer.
the
Y'all
right,
let him
and
hold the. He's an officer, so you let him hold the guns for the picture.
he does look like he's posing, doesn't he?
Here, sir. Sir, hold this, sir. Hold this. Here you go.
Yeah. No, he was solid though all the way around. Tactically, technically, very proficient everywhere.
I better shut
Yeah.
up. Like 6'4". He might stomp a mud hole in my ass and walk it dry.
He's pretty awesome. So anyway, just that kind of stuff where these people are showing up. You know, we got the Big Owls, we got all the people from 716th MP Battalion.
Yeah,
And,
there you go. That's what I'm talking about, sir. Hoorah, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Maybe you could shoot better than them MPs, but that's why you had me on your team too. So
and the shit talking commences.
There you go.
Anyway, so I just love this. Oh, and
Yeah,
Zachariah Edwards. Oh my goodness, this is the guy that was with me when that freaking rocket hit our tent.
Does he go? Please tell me he goes by Zach. Please tell me. Because Zachariah is a mouthful, bro. He sounds like he's one of the kids from the Children of the Corn.
He goes by
No, but
Fleabag.
he's official. That's why you call him Zachariah. You will call me by my given name.
I call him Mr. Zachariah, actually. I call him Mr.
The only thing wrong with Zach is he's a huge Oklahoma fan. I mean, nobody can be perfect. So
nope, sure can't.
Could be worse. He could be a Georgia fan.
Hey, so we got to pay the bills real quick, gentlemen, but we will come back right after this.
Get ready to groove to the electrifying sounds of DJ Royal T, the maestro of mixing who knows how to turn any event into an unforgettable dance sensation. Royalty Entertainment is here to bring you the ultimate musical experience straight from the ones and twos in your ears and through your body to activate them dancing shoes. Get ready to sweat, party, and have a good time while your DJ needs are being blazed by none other than me, DJ Royal T. I have spent years crafting together a DJ entertainment empire that promises a customized blend of musical tracks, mix and mastering, and top quality sound, all while providing a vibrant ambiance to accommodate any of your DJ needs. Royalty Entertainment Services is your premier one-stop shop for top-tier musical entertainment and is hosted by yours truly. For more information, reservations, and booking, feel free to look around the website at godjroyalty.com. I am DJ Royalty, and this has been another Royalty Entertainment production. Yeah.
Got Your Six Culture is a veteran-owned t-shirt company that's making a powerful impact, one t-shirt at a time. These guys are simply badass. Whether you're a proud veteran or a family member or a patriot at heart, you're going to find the perfect tee that speaks directly to your soul. But wait, there's more. When you shop at Got Your Six Culture, you're not just supporting veterans, you're supporting American small business. You're also supporting the dream of veteran-owned small businesses around the world, and these guys put heart and passion into everything through designing all their t-shirts right here in the USA, ensuring you have top-notch quality in every design that you purchase. Show your appreciation for veterans and first responders today, and head over to GotYourSixCulture.com and browse their amazing collection of products. And guess what? Our friends at Got Your Six have a badass treat special for our listeners. Use the code Triple Threat at checkout and get an exclusive 15% discount on your purchase. So show your support for our heroes of country and community. Shop at GotYourSixCulture.com right now. And don't forget to use the code Triple Threat at checkout for an additional 15% off. Hashtag same flag, same oath.
You've served your country. Let us serve you. Buying a home can be a stressful process. At Veteran Mortgage Solutions, we have decades of experience qualifying your benefit income and making it part of your credit profile. We help veterans obtain mortgages at great rates with better terms. This is our dedication to America's warfighters.
I'm sure if y'all have seen that one. Is that a good one?
Best commercial yet.
Yeah, we thought that was the best one too.
Yeah,
so that commercial is with Better Mortgage Solutions. Another gentleman from the 101st MP Company, Mac Verdi, myself, Jeff Ford, Tim Burnham, Byron Brown, Scott Bryson, Chris Fuller, and Megan Hergerstad, all veteran loan officer team, Better Mortgage Solutions. If you're in the market for a mortgage, give us a call.
Yep, and I was just gonna real quick. So our guy over here, Brian, there you go. Said you were too kind, Ty. Everything that I've heard you say on the podcast, you said that you weren't too kind. How come he's got a different view?
He's gotten softer in his old age. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
So
I mean, I had people tell me on performance reports that I was abrasive. I mean, there was many counseling sessions where my platoon sergeant would tell me, you know what, you're kind of abrasive. But I mean, it goes to show that all those people that were like Heverly is the one that said when I got promoted to staff sergeant that he would give me a squad of MPs. And I think I said this at some point on either this podcast or maybe I said it on the So Smoking Gooder show, but but he said he would give me a squad of MPs, and that was the one of the biggest compliments I ever received. So thank you, Brian Heverly. I think he's lieutenant colonel now, by the way.
So real quick, James Thornton, I will reach out to you after the podcast, man. I'll get your information. We'll get you some decals sent over.
So I will say this, man. I was in a truck with Ty. I was actually walking to the truck with Ty when we did the softball game, and it came out a little bit because he was super frustrated, and I was a little scared. Like he went from like super laughing, like and then he was like, I need a minute to vent, and he was like, these they ain't got shit set up. I was like, we're about to go in here and I thought Ty was gonna walk back in the building and whoop that dude's ass. I thought it was getting ready to go down. Got in the truck. I was scared for my life. I was sucking down water and shit. Like, oh God, I need to hydrate in case some shit pops off. Like, I don't know what's going on. But it came out a little bit. I was like, oh, it's
my heart rate got too high. I had to calm down, man. I'm 49 years old now.
Here's the issue. So in Ty's mind, right, we're about to go do this thing. We're going to produce this stuff. Ty already had this shit like Fox Sports level in his brain, right? Yeah. We're going to go out and nobody knows who NFL Game Day is. None of them people matter. Like, we're going to blow them out the water. And then like later into it, Ty was like, I don't know enough about what's going on right now for me to be able to do this. So I need to see somebody right now. Bro, that's why I was like, hey, I'm going to go find someone that works there. I was like, hey, you can go in here. And then he was like, all right, let's go.
That wasn't my fear, Matt. My fear is Ty's a grizzly bear. I'm a little guy. I was like, Ty's gonna pick me up with my fucking feet and use me as a weapon. Like
there's crocodiles in that river.
I need to be prepared because I'm gonna be Ty's baseball bat. I'm a little dude. He's gonna grab by my feet and he's gonna be swinging my little ass around. It's gonna be a problem.
So the funny thing was that Matt didn't mess around with the people that were running the event. He went and got like one of the grounds or one of the like managers of
Yeah, one of the
Constellation
grounds
Field
crew
from like the actual the AAA baseball team, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll put y'all in the press box," and I was like, "That will be acceptable, thank you."
Yeah, Matt called George W. Bush. Matt called Bush and was like, "Hey, bro, got a problem." Like he was calling everybody in Texas he knew.
I called Matthew McConaughey, all them dudes. He's like, all right. Hey, so not to be funny, but I'm gonna give you guys some information about the something similar to that later on. Just so you know, keep it in your mind.
At 9, I got to jump, fellas. Just so you know.
Oh, that's
so
okay.
do we need to pick the games?
We need to go football picks right now.
Yeah. Right. Well, Scott's not. Well, Scott's.
It
not
doesn't
here,
matter.
He can get.
Scott's gonna go left side.
Yeah,
Doesn't
we'll
matter.
let him.
Everybody
pick
knows
off
Scott's
air.
going left side.
I got to come back to all these announcements though. Where's it at? Okay,
Ty got me this week because my ass should have picked with Ty and I didn't. And he was like, "Pick your own shit," and I was like, "Okay."
But see, we just saw how you
did all right.
with Ty all season. You pick what he picks, and you're like, "Cool, I'm good to go." Look at Dusty talking about it's 9:52 already, bro. You know we live in Central Time.
Yeah, we live in God's country, bro.
Yeah,
we live on God's time zone. God's time zone is Central.
But Dusty, just so you know, we've got your 6. We kind of paid homage to you guys. I do know that you noticed them Georgia Bulldog cornhole boards in the advertisement. I'm just saying.
Those are beautiful. I'm gonna start sending pictures out. Them things are badass.
I don't know what you're upset about, Al, because I mean I didn't do that well this week. I went 3-2. Al, you went 5-0.
See, that's because Al don't pay attention to shit. He's like, man,
you
I
and
messed
Scott
up.
both went 5-0, and then Matt went 4-1.
I know. See, this is bullshit.
Matt,
yeah.
I made up some ground though. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh, Ty, by the way, I'm sorry about what LSU did to the Black Knights. For real.
Yeah, I have no comment about that, but I will give one prop to LSU. I don't know if anybody watched that game, but in the LSU end zone, they had camouflage. I thought that was pretty cool. That was a good homage.
Hey, look, we had to give them a victory somewhere. You know what I mean? It just had to happen.
So who's playing this week?
All our teams are playing this week, buddy.
So LSU waxed Army 62-0, UCLA 42-7 over Stanford. Let's see.
Good job.
I don't think any of these were really any of these were big picks, but I just picked poorly. So after this week, after 8 weeks, it's Matt's 29-11, 30-10, and then of course Al's winning with 32-8.
Bro, I went 4-1 and I'm still in the dumpster. See, that's what getting risks takes for you, Brian. I don't just pick the easy ones. I'm trying to get these guys. Ty's over here. Back to the Future with the damn almanac in his hands from Marty McFly. That's what's going on.
I do these while I'm in other meetings sometimes, so we may have to go back and audit it, Matt. I may be wrong.
No, you ain't wrong.
Shit. So I could. So you're saying there's a chance?
There may be a chance. I mean, I don't want to say.
No,
that
I think you're right.
I
suck. I'm not. I hang out with Dusty, not his family, on football picks.
There's a better chance of me. There's a better chance of me making sweet passionate love to Scarlett Johansson than Matt winning. I mean, it's just what it is.
Oh, okay.
All right,
we know none of that's ever gonna happen.
I went first last week, so I'm gonna say Al go first this week.
Okay, what do we got?
Oh, this is a tough one. South Carolina A&M. I'm gonna go A&M because they're at home. I'm going UCLA. Sorry, Scott. Of course, I'm going Georgia. I'm going Kentucky, and I'm going FSU. So I'm going all left.
I know. You're trying to be like Scott. I get it. Scott's going all left too. I'll tell you right now, he's going all left.
Colorado lost last week on their bye week. That shit was crazy.
I'm upset this week about my picks. I was looking at these when I did this slide earlier today, and I was thinking I have to pick A&M this week. So A&M.
Oh shit! No.
Yeah, it's bad.
Stop.
Like, that's how much I don't have faith in South Carolina.
But listen, you're picking A&M because like you're not number one anymore. Now you got to come up a little bit.
Now I got to actually pick. Yeah, exactly.
So you're not picking with your with your heart. You're picking with your mind. That's what you're telling.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing either. But yes,
that's
what I'm doing.
I know you're not.
Look at that. Oh wait, no, where's it at? I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. Ty Cobb picked A&M.
Culture. Hey, if you win, we going Sizzler. We
Oh,
going
yeah.
Sizzler.
For sure.
All right, and
Gonna have
then
a nice family meal at a classy place.
and it's probably a good thing that Scott is not on the program tonight because I'm picking UCLA too. So I'm going against everything in my being, but I just I was all right. Let's get on with it. Georgia, UK, and FSU.
All right, man. Hot seat, bro. What you got?
Well, I'm gonna take Florida State, so that one's easy. I'm taking Georgia. Although I'm gonna tell you now, I'm taking Georgia. Write Georgia down, but Florida might nip them. I'm just telling you.
Well, the game's in Jacksonville. It's a neutral field, so
Yeah, that's the what do they call
Florida
that
field.
game? What do they call that game, Al?
Between the hedges, baby. The biggest cocktail party in
no.
the world.
The biggest cocktail party. That's right. Between the hedges is where your team plays at home, dude.
Yeah, but that's where we should be playing, not Jacksonville. That's a Florida field, bro. That's not even fair. That's not a neutral side, my asshole.
I mean, it's close enough. So I'm gonna take. I'm taking Kentucky. I'm taking Georgia. I'm taking Florida State. I'm gonna take A&M.
Dun, dun, dun.
So anybody that took A&M today, you already know I jinxed you. Just saying. But Ty took A&M, so we should be good. The one I'm stuck on is Colorado and UCLA. I'm taking Colorado. I'm going against you guys. I'm gonna take
There goes
Colorado.
another fucking loss for you, but it's okay.
Whatever, dude. Have you seen the records that are out there? Have you seen the records?
That requires.
If I really cared about like winning, then I might do some research. But obviously, I can't go nowhere else but up.
All right. Well, we'll get Scott's offline, but shout out to my boy Scott. I wish he was on tonight, bro. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do for your family, bro. I got you. Not even normal. I would normally give you shit, but I'm not going to.
That's because you thought your internet was gonna kick out. We know.
Well,
okay, so I'll pick them to lose this game anyway.
So.
Yep. Fuck, he picked them to lose every game.
Yeah.
I did pick them to lose, but I think that embarrassment they gave themselves before the bye, I think was addressed, and I think they're going to come out and play.
Love you, boys.
Like, yeah, man.
Look at these, bro.
At some point, they have to jump in there and they got to get it rolling. You know what I mean? It's got to happen somehow.
Yeah. So some of our future guests we got coming on next week. Laura Murray, founder of the Rescue for PTSD, actually confirmed her tonight. She's going to be talking about the Rescue for PTSD and the service dogs that she trains. Your pet, she will train you a dog. She will get you a dog, all at no cost to the veteran. So
nice.
Next week, Laura Murray, and then go ahead, Matt.
Yep, we got Christian and Rudy coming on the podcast after that. Two legends in the recruiting game. Actually knows me, Scott, and Al very well. Maybe too well, actually. And then who we got after that?
It'll be us again after that.
Roll it up. So I wanted to if we could, do we have any more announcements that we're going to make?
Oh, yeah. Actually, we do. Let me go back to this. You want to...
Well, I have one that I want to put out. I don't know if you're going to... Are we going to talk a little bit about...
Yeah, I think it's the last one, the last slide, but let's talk about some of this. All right, some upcoming events we got going on.
Yep. So this is Project Zero's calendar. And again, it's very important. If you're a veteran or first responder, to be able to go out and go onto their trips and do those things is good. But tonight, to everyone that's out there, and if you're in the Houston area, this is even more important. Project Zero partners with a company, Mitchell Roofing. Mitchell Roofing is a huge supporter of these guys. They their only goal is to give back to the veteran community, first responder community, and they just love helping Project Zero. So as you can see here on the screen, Mitchell Roofing right now is looking to bring in some nominations for a deserving veteran that needs a new roof. Okay. If you know anyone in the Houston area, or if you're in the Houston area and you guys, and we all know people that really, really need that help to get a roof. Maybe it's because insurance isn't coming through. Maybe it's because, they've been down on their luck, whatever the case may be. We're taking nominations for this through the 30th of November, and they are going to cover everything. They're going to do the materials. They're going to put the roof on. The veteran will pay for nothing. So if you know somebody, just reach out to us in the podcast. Send us a message on on Facebook to the Triple Threat Vet page. You can reach us on the Got Your Six Culture page. You could reach us on our personal pages. If you know someone, please nominate them, because this is a good thing that Mitchell Roofing and Exteriors is doing. They're always out to help, and I just wanted to make sure we recognize them. And I didn't even realize, Ty, that you had a slide for them, so I'm really glad that you do.
Yeah, I hyper-brained the shit out of this one once I got that text from you and Kyle earlier. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, Big Al talked about it a little bit earlier. So we all went to this. Me, Scott, and Matt went to the Article 15 comedy tour at Post 8790, and to say this was fucking hilarious is an understatement. These guys were awesome. And here's the rest of the shows coming up here in the Houston area. So if you have a chance, please get out and see this, because it was hilarious.
Yeah, for sure. And then just like with Big Al and all those other guys, Eric and his crew of guys that are going out to do shows, if you're in another state and you want to try to see about them coming up to do a tour in your neck of the woods, like, they are very, very attainable in messaging. They'll respond back to you. Reach out to them. Let them know that you want them to come up and see if you can start that conversation. For any of the comedians you've seen come on our podcast, I'm sure they'd love to get involved with you guys wherever you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. And then here's the thing that's on the reading list now. I started listening to this, never finished. I thought that I could not be blown away by another book more than Can't Hurt Me, and the story of his youth, and then going through Buds 3 times and his whole life. But then you realize there's more to the story, man. And I think it's funny, all the the stuff Joe Rogan has about him. He's just a beast of a man. The messages he leaves, the daily life that he lives, the ultra running. This shit is inspiring. I think I'm gonna look into getting one of these November 14th tickets and go and seeing these. I'm not so much interested in everybody else, but just to be able to be in the same room with that dude and just soak in whatever he's going to say for that 2 or 3 or 4 hours.
For sure.
I think that's probably going to be worth it.
There's 2 people I'd really like to see that are on that list. One is David Goggins, and the other one's Marcus Lemonis, because I think that dude is super intelligent in business and would be a good look. I don't know really the other people.
Some of his social media stuff, it seems pretty cool, but I don't know who Kendra Scott is. So anyway, but it should be fun. And then this is a book that I just purchased on Audible. This is a book that I served in the 101st. So he was a commanding general during 2003. So a lot of the tactics, techniques, and procedures that we used for my deployments. What are you laughing at? Oh,
that's funny. I'm sorry.
That's cool. Yeah, he's hilarious. And here's the funny thing: like we were in the middle of I didn't finish my story earlier. I'll come back to you, General Petraeus. Sorry, I'm standing at attention, sir. So Brian Hefferly, we had a humanitarian mission that we had to do. So we went to do the humanitarian mission, but we were also sitting in the middle of this valley trying to find some guy. I can't remember what his name was, but he was some local warlord. So we were trying to link up with him because he wanted to kill the bad guys. We wanted to kill the bad guys, whatever. So in the middle of, whatever hell could be going on or whatever crazy situation, he would just pop some kind of funny joke and give you that shit-eating smile that he had. And it was amazing. And Brigadier General Razik. So we were trying to link up with this guy. So we would go out and sit in the middle of the valley and just see what shit we could get into. And that's the type of stuff that I was lucky enough to do my entire career as just like a normal Army guy. So when people talk about experiences, the shit sandwich that some of them got, I just realized I never had any of that. Like, my career was amazing. I had amazing leaders. Of course, we had some people that didn't measure up and got moved around or maybe didn't meet the standard. But geez, after hearing these other people's stories, even like stuff that Al had to go through with having to retire early, I had people literally putting me on their shoulders and be like, "Oh hell no, you're gonna be the best." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll go do that." But
whatever you want, whatever you want,
and it's amazing that I want to convey that. So. Yeah. Where was I? Lost track.
So you're standing at attention because you interrupted the general. That's what I gathered from all of that before. So.
Right. So yeah, shout out to Lieutenant Colonel Heverly, who's retiring. I think he said a month ago. Or
Yeah,
even 1 month.
congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
Welcome
Amazing
to the
dude.
other side.
Now come visit me and be on the podcast in person.
Yeah.
So okay, so General Petraeus was the commanding general when we went to Iraq in OIF-1. So he literally wrote the book on coins. So that was the tactics, techniques, and procedures that I used for all of my deployments from Fort Campbell, and pretty much the last one when I was with Route Clearance, we still used coin. He literally wrote the book. So to hear him talk about all armed conflict between was it evolution from 1945 to now, to hear him talk about this, and then to hear Mr. Andrew Roberts, who I think is in the Royal Guard, or I forget his title, but these are two amazing military minds in our time that are explaining the geopolitical storm that goes on when there's a war. And I get real frustrated with the news sometimes. They feel like they want to scoop, and they're trying to catch whoever they're interviewing off guard if it's a military person or whatever. I don't like it. So anyway, don't mean to get on a tangent there, Matt.
No, you're
Sorry
good.
about
You know, that's why the public affairs office always tells military members, if somebody ever walks up to you and asks you a question, be like, no comment.
that. Right.
Because they know that we're going to give them all kinds of content they can use.
Right.
It takes that one person that's like, well, this is what I heard the other day. And then everybody in the room is like, oh, shit. Somebody get Private Cobb in here right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
So, I mean, I just started that book by General Petraeus,
Yeah.
but I will finish that pretty soon. And then this goes on with like some of the stuff that we always talk about. You know, Kyle Shudik says, just get out there. So this is a band, Malford Milligan. He was in the band Storyville back in the 90s. He's now with Malford Milligan and 10 Cadillac. They've got a slew of dates here going on in various parts of Texas. So if you're in one of these towns, please check it out. We've got it on our social media. On our Facebook. If you need the dates, give us a message. We'll get it to you. But his booking information and all the tour information is right there. Get out there, go do something. There's a big ministry with veterans and music, man. It resonates with us. So get out there. I figured you wanted to do this one.
Oh, you want me to tell everybody?
Oh, absolutely.
That,
yeah.
Ty Cobb is now ultra famous on Spotify. I don't know if you guys know that, but Ty Cobb's on Spotify. You can check him out there. Ty is so famous, they allowed us to put his podcast up to just make sure it worked in the same arena they put all these other podcasts. But just so you guys know, we're starting to be able to upload these into Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, iHeartRadio, anywhere where you can listen to a podcast. You're going to be able to hear us going forward. I think we made the decision that we did a good enough job to learn how to do this a little bit, where we're ready to go ahead and launch it up there. So if you miss something, you'll be able to download them over and share them with people through text or whatever on the podcast platform you listen to. Probably in the next 2 weeks or so, we'll have them all up and they'll be ready to go. But yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that's pretty much all the announcements I think I have.
For sure. So I just want to let everybody know though. That. Yeah, we are right now, October the 26th. And right now, I'm just going to tell everybody that's watching, all of you out there and anybody that you know, we are trying to give money to help for breast cancer research at Got Your Six. We have 2 t-shirts on the website. One's a fuck cancer t-shirt. I mean, it doesn't say fuck. I mean, you can pretty much infer it. And then the other one has a flag on the back that says we fight together. So whether you like to express that you want to fight cancer or you want to just show that you're a part of the group, please go out there, grab a couple of those shirts, buy them, get them. It's going to send money to Susan G. Komen so that we can help fight breast cancer. We all know somebody that has been affected by it. We know somebody that has probably had to go through it or seen somebody go through it. So this is another one of those things that hits home for a lot of people. And we're just trying to do our part like we do with our first responders and veterans. We want to give as much money as we can to them. So just go buy a shirt. It's for a good cause. And they're awesome shirts. I promise. Selfish plug.
That's cool. You know what I love? Since we weren't having a guest and it was just going to be us, I literally came up with like 4 pages of stuff. I got I got all this stuff to talk about.
We got
And,
to none of it.
And no, we got to one of them, the suicide thing that I wanted to say at the very beginning. I wanted to make sure that I said that. So that was my first note. But then after that, we just started waxing poetic. It was pretty cool. So,
look, I mean, we got a couple minutes, Ty. Is there anything on the list that you want to hit now that we can talk about? Like, for real, let's talk about one more thing.
Everything that I have on my list all goes with like mental health awareness and getting out there and do something, being an active, agent in your recovery of whatever it may be. Like some people are very resilient and they have like some crazy shit that happened to them. They don't really show any effects, but other people have that same amount of crazy shit happen to them and it affects them differently. So, and then sometimes, things that are maybe relatively minor to you affect other people very dramatically. So, being able to understand that, to share that, and just get that out of there is a lot of the notes I think that I have. But we just do that; it's organic.
Yeah.
We just happen to talk about that stuff.
But what's interesting about what you just said? I think the thing that I notice a lot about today, right? Today's time. So when we were growing up, all that stuff that you just said, how one person could go through something could affect them one way, but it could affect somebody another way. And like, you just don't know. And you got to kind of like learn everybody and understand who they are and what they're going through and those things like that. Right. When we grew up, it was like, nah, that doesn't bother you. You're good. Rub dirt on it. Let's roll. What's crazy is nowadays there are times where I think like it's so overdone, like to your point earlier in like the media, right? Like, let's keep hitting that topic and just keep hitting it. And we never come up with a solution. We just keep hitting the topic because it gets people to watch. But now I think
that's actually one of my notes. We mitigate all kinds of issue versus actually trying to solve the problem.
Right. And so if we would really just pay attention to all this stuff that they put out, and then right after that, you put all that out there, bring someone on that can help shed light to helping someone, James Thornton on here, shout out to him. I do remember from the podcast you guys on last night that he's a cancer survivor. So I'm glad that you're here, sir. I'm happy to hear that. But he also runs an organization that brings people in and helps them, right? He helps people in Nashville. Yeah. Willis over there in Kentucky helps people. The Misfit Nation help people. Those guys that were on that podcast yesterday, you see them and you see them helping others. And one of the things that made a good point on yesterday, which goes right into that media thing you were saying, and I know we're at the end today, but
no, we're good. I mean, shoot,
I like how they brought up yesterday. If you're a veteran service organization, a VSO, and you're out there to help veterans, right? Can we just fucking do that?
Right.
You don't need to make money. Money's not important. Right. It's not about the money you're making. It's about that one veteran at a time. I know that Willis and his podcast has it on there, one veteran at a time. Like, that's the most important part. I get it. It's 22. It's a big number, but it starts with finding one person that you can help and reducing that number by one. Let's get it to 21. Right. Mm-hmm. Then let's get it to 20. Then let's get it to 19. The biggest point of that is there's a lot of times, right? Like, for instance, I just, whenever you go in to do claim stuff, talk to the VA, right? They always write down who helped you do it, right? The person that they put down for mine, I didn't do anything with them. Nothing, not one thing, but they're listed on the paper. Who it is, what they do, it doesn't matter. But then it made me kind of think like, okay, well, what do they get for saying that they helped me, or do they get notified? Because nobody's ever called me to say, hey, do you need help? And so when you're looking at these things, it's like, if you're out there to help people, then just do it. And that's why I like what we're doing. That's why I like not only the podcast, but from a business perspective for Becky and I. Like, I would love to be a millionaire. That'd be great, because you need to have no worries. But I know there's a lot of people out there that need help, right? There's people that have seen, done, and had to go through different things. And so that's why we focus our energy and effort on recognizing first responders and veterans, doing cancer awareness shirts, doing nonprofit shirts that are co-branded to basically sell a shirt and give money to the nonprofit, because that helps one more person. And if you can do that, that's good. I just wish that people weren't so worried about the recognition you get and everything that you do versus the person you're helping and being like in the back of it. Does that make sense? Like, absolutely. I don't need you to recognize me for somebody being helped. I don't even want you to do it. I don't even care if the person ever knows that I was the person involved in helping them. But if they get the help, that's what's most important. And I think too many people want to be recognized. And I think that's another part of like the whole social media thing. And you got to get the likes and the clicks, and people got to know who you are. It's okay. They don't need to know. Ask Navy SEALs, ask those special forces in the Army. Nobody knows them, and we're free still. There's a lot of stuff they've done nobody knows about, right? So it's
the way I like to think about this is like anything like you told me when you met me, you said you seem to know everybody, and it's really because I don't talk that much. I listen to everybody and I become interested in them, and then I become interested in what they're saying, and then I just go be like, hey, I'm Ty, I'm Napalm, I'm all over you now. What's up with you? What's going on? And I find out everything about them, and I absolutely love them for life, or I don't like them at all, and so I like to drop ship everything that I have. If I know somebody, I will drop ship it to that person. And I have helped you. That selfishly makes me feel great.
Dude, the drop shipping you do though is crazy, because if you ever talk to Ty and you're like, Ty, man, I really need some help to do this thing. Ty goes, wait 1 minute, don't hang the phone up, hold on. 2 seconds later, like, hey, Joe, it's Ty. I'm on the phone with my friend Bob, and he needs your help to do this thing and that thing. Can you help him do it? And you hear the dude on the line is like, yeah, absolutely. I got it. We're good to go. And then
no, that's for Heverly.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands either, but it's so crazy. Like I'm telling you, Ty, you're my version of Kevin Bacon, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm telling you, when I start seeing all the people that I've showed you my book where I write people's names down and heroes, and there's people that are on this podcast tonight that are in that book, and that makes me feel great. Like this, like Scott said last week, we look forward to the. Maybe you didn't say it last week. Maybe you just said it to us, but we have jobs that we do six days a week, 23 hours, a day, and then we have this 1 hour where it's us on Thursday at 8 p.m. Talking to each other. And then we talk about shit, and then that gets me through my next week. I literally look forward to this. I mean, I love the other podcasts I produce. I love that. It's fun, but it's kind of work. This is like therapy.
There you go.
Oh shit, yeah.
Hey, don't worry, Brian. When you come on, he'll let us know all about what's in that book. Ask Rich Woodring. We know. It's all good. Go back.
It's all good stuff. I tell you, if you make the book, it's good for sure.
Yeah, if you ain't in the book, don't call Ty. Like, you probably won't get through. Not at all. No. Well, Ty, I tell you what, man, it's been this is episode 18 for us. I mean, it feels again like we've been doing it forever, but it really hasn't been that long. So I mean, we obviously don't have the glamorous outro of our man DJ Royal T. Sorry, nobody got put in the hot seat today, but it was good to talk about things we've done in the past. It was good to see Big Al Gonzalez. He was a great episode for us, and again, another good veteran advocate. I can't wait to see some of the people that we see in these chat rooms on the podcast in the future. It's been a good ride. I'm glad we're doing it, just like you. It's one of those things where you look forward to it every week, and then often I get asked, what are you guys going to talk about today? And I said it again, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, we'll figure it out.
I like this idea right here. Yeah, this could fit right into something we do. Had a idea about Faces of Survivors kind of event, finding guys who have walked through their problems and come out the other side strong. Bet those guys
sounds like another thing we can help Brian get off the ground after he retires.
That's the kind of shit I want to be involved in. I like that
absolutely.
A lot. We got a lot of. Let me go through these comments here and see if any's. Let's see. Yeah, thanks, Rudd. Willis, amen. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was listening to you and I wasn't paying attention to the comments when you were talking, because that was some good shit, man.
Yeah, we'll look at this one real quick. Tell me what you think about that one.
Oh, sorry. Hit it up.
Yeah. Tell me what you think about that one.
What is my guidance on pursuing increase?
I got some guidance for him, but I'll let you go first.
Ahead. You want me to go? Again, I feel like I had the rabbit's foot. I made sure that I documented things, and I wasn't afraid to. If you're still active, I wasn't afraid to talk about the stigma. If you're post-veteran, then I would talk to your local VFW service officer. If you need a VFW service officer in the state of Texas, or national for that matter, message us. I will find you one. The veteran service officers that we have at the Tomball VFW are amazing. they've done so much for so many. So if my first step would be to use the VFW, don't pay for it, use
Yeah.
the VFW and see if that avenue will work.
Yeah. So Ty, you're opposite of me. Okay. I was that guy when I got out of the Navy, and I said lots of other people need it more than me. And and that rings true to me because I was watching the Homefront Sitrep podcast a while back, or listening to it anyway. And Willis was over there, kind of talking about the same thing. Like, oh, other people need it more than me. People have seen and done other things. So as you go through it and, talking with Becky, it's like, you need to do this, you need to do this. And so finally, Al Hero, believe it or not, is the one that like showed me how easy it was to do. So I filed my claim line and I got it back. Well, here's what I learned for our UT1 in the group, Scott's guy there, eBeat64. What you need to do is you need to go grab your original claim letter, the one that they sent you that shows your percentage. It shows everything that they gave you. On that letter, there is a list of things that they could have given you a higher rating for, but they didn't because you need some more information, which was what I'm starting to do right now. I'm starting to look at that list and I'm starting to go through that. So you may have to go to some more appointments. You may need to get some buddy letters. There may be some things you need to do. But what I've heard from some people that I've talked to that are in the VFW, what a lot of guys do when we get out, we try to find more problems, and you don't need to do that. It's already on the list. So what you need to do is go back and take a look at it, and then see what that says. I'm not gonna lie to you guys right now. I had to Google like 4 things on that letter. I didn't even know what they meant. But when we went through the first 3, Becky was like, you got all, like, we need to look into that. Like, you need to go look into those things. Like, that letter tells you what you've had. And so if you need to do that, get back in touch with the VA, get in touch with doctors to go to the appointment if you need to. Buddy letters are a way to do that. So if there's an increase in the percentage that you feel that you're owed or you should have, go back. First stop is your original letter. It's going to give you information you need in order to increase that if it's possible. And if there's things on there that you feel you had but you don't have it, then just resubmit it if you feel like it's something that you need. Like, the worst that someone can tell you is no. And I learned that a lot going through. And then, the worst thing is the mindset of people like me, really, that other people deserve it. My wife is the biggest champion for me all the time and tells me all the time that people that serve, like, you got to look at these things. And so if you have questions, or I'm not a VSO or I'm not a service officer, but if you want, maybe a contact or how to do it or what to do, I know that all of us on here can help you do that. But I would tell you, go back, look at your original letter, and then make sure if you know people from the past, right? Because I heard Willis was talking about this in his podcast too. He's right now like trying to search for people that he served with, because buddy letters are as good as doctor letters. So just keep that in mind.
That's what I'm talking about. I did not know some of that stuff. Thank you for saying that, Matt.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, point out that you shouldn't lie to the VA about your situation because karma.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but that karma also turns into the problem where the guys that are coming after you that really need the disability or need the percentage or need something for that thing that you're trying to say you have, I think there's all kinds that we can talk about. You really don't want to get into them now. It really doesn't matter. Like, overall, there's a lot of things that a lot of people can say that they have that, yes, no, maybe, but don't lie about it, because you're going to hurt the guys that come after you that really need that. And if they need it and now they got to go through a more scrutinized process just to prove it, then it's not a good look. Like, I get it. Get what you get because of what you have. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't try to get more with some other stuff that you really don't have, because, that's called karma. That stuff comes back. Sometimes, don't wish, bad things on yourself, but if you have it, then go get it. Right. Don't, but yeah, that's a good point, was don't lie, because they will find it. And then when they do find it, again, it's, you've made it harder for everybody coming after you. That's the most important thing to know. Truly not taking care of veterans if you do that. What happened now?
I'm listening to they're looking for the suspect in Maine.
Oh,
And just
yeah.
some of the stuff that comes out of the media's mouth. I looked over there and expected to see, like fucking Wyatt Earp or something, somebody that actually knows what they're talking about. But it's just some reporter. But
Bro, you
he's
know
giving
that
some low down tactical knowledge. Like he is waxing poetic on the tactical stuff that's going on in this SWAT team, and he's telling you by the color of light that they have going on and the strobe what that whole formation is doing. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. Oh man.
Can you hear
I
me
think
now?
you're
Can you hear me?
you're
How
muted.
much do you watch the news now? Because I do
I,
it.
well, I
Maybe
only started. I don't, but I was watching it to try to find this out.
no, but I'm saying like nowadays, how much do you watch the news? And when they talk about military stuff, right? You look and go, well, no shit, they know what we do now. Like, just let everybody know what's going on. Like, just go ahead and tell it, right? And you're just like yelling at the TV, like they can hear you. Like, what are you doing? It's almost like telling people to get off your yard because your grass isn't going to grow, but you're yelling at the TV. That's where I'm at now in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it sooner than later. Yep.
Miss you too, DeLuna. He was one of the docs that had to deal with my back issues and then the migraines and everything that I had from the nerve stuff or whatever going on in my back. But he was the one that would have me. He would recover me from kidney stones, I think. Yeah, when I was in Afghanistan, and then migraines when I was at White Sands Missile Range. So crazy.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate how
They
commonplace
should
that all
be.
these terms
That's
have
correct,
become.
Dusty.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do, right? Eventually. They
Yeah.
are known, but I mean, are they? Maybe you only know what they want you to know.
Yeah,
Who knows?
that's true.
Well, I would tell you, Ty. I mean, we're getting long, man. I had fun tonight. This was a good one. I'm glad we got to talk about some of the guests before. I just want to thank everybody that came out. If you watched today, thank you. If you know people that could use a little bit of a laugh here and there, or listen to things that could help them out in any situation they're in, just invite them to come and listen to us. And if you have a story to tell and you want to have an opportunity to tell it, reach out to us. We'll try to get you on. We can. Sometimes we can bring you on in the middle of it. But thank you, everybody that's watching. We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. This was a different vibe, just having 3 of us on and then 2 of us. So it's always fun. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next week. Scott, Al. Next week, we'll be back with all 4 of us with our guest, Laura Murray. Hey, thanks a lot.